Hello, what's up, everybody? My name is Mike Brown, aka Review King MB, and I wanted to do a spoiler talk for Dark Phoenix because I gave my review, but I wanted to be a lot more clear. I wanted to explain why I didn't think this movie was absolutely awful, dreadful, terrible, like some other people have said. Yes, the fact that there have been worse X-Men movies and just worse superhero movies that I have seen over the years, that might play a big part in it. Yes, and that's fair. But there's a couple of moments in this movie that I thought were decent, but also, as I'm saying that, there were also a couple of moments that I thought were terrible. At the beginning, we see young Jean Grey essentially killing her parents or her mom when she freaks out about the radio, and it looks like she causes the car to flip over and crash into another car. But essentially, we find out that she kills the mom before the crash even happens. And then the crash happens, and later on, you see that her father's still alive, and Sophie Turner as Jean Grey has a scene with him where she figures out what exactly happened. And the only reason why I don't care for this is because this is the same mistake that I thought X-Men The Last Stand made, where they had Professor Xavier be the person that consumes her mind and gets inside of her head and tries to put away the pain of her killing her mom and the knowledge of that to try to hide it and swoop it behind her head, because maybe if she doesn't remember it, then she won't be evil, or she won't use that anger. So of course, years later, when she finds out the anger, people blame Xavier, and even he has a hard time admitting that it's his fault. I just don't like that. I don't think that this is something that Xavier would do or should do in any circumstance, so I think it makes him look bad. Maybe this version isn't as bad as the one from The Last Stand, because yeah, they had that as a split personality thing, and this time at least the cosmic force had something to do with it. X-Men save these astronauts in space. I guess that was interesting because you have them working with the government. You have the public, after they do save the astronauts, uh, clapping for them and cheering them on like they're heroes. And that's something different for the X-Men. Of course, that gets taken away when Jean Grey kills some police officers, and now the public eye sees them as enemies once again. But still, my biggest takeaway from this moment is the X-Men costumes. The X-Men costumes in this movie, first of all, not only does it look like absolute garbage, hot garbage, but it looks cheap. It looks lame. It looks like, I swear I've seen cosplayers make better X-Men costumes with their hard-earned money, their own money, compared to these Hollywood movies. I don't understand why at the end of X-Men Apocalypse, as bad and not good as that movie is, the end of that film showed these characters with their own personalized, customized superhero costumes. And so it made us go, all right, yeah, I wanted that throughout this movie, but I didn't get it. So maybe the next movie will get it. No, the next movie, they're just all wearing generic blue costumes with yellow X's over them. And I know it's a throwback, a tribute of sorts to First Class, but still not what you should have done. You should have gave us those badass costumes from the last movie. Jean Grey ends up killing Mystique, which is something that I think would have held a lot more weight, would have been a lot more impactful, would have made me more sad if they didn't reveal this in the trailer. One of the trailers, for sure, showed basically the scene where Jean Grey is freaking out and can't control the voices in her head. She gives out this blast that sends Mystique flying, and she gets impaled. So, yes, Mystique gets killed. I know that they probably did this because Jennifer Lawrence is so done with this character, so done with this franchise. She's been done with this franchise 2 movies ago, it seems like. And so I get it, but I always have said for years that if Jennifer Lawrence does not want to play this character anymore, Mystique in her moveset, her power set, the fact that she can make herself look like anyone she wants, you could easily recast Mystique and just have a story reason for why she's not going to look like Jennifer Lawrence anymore, and have her look like whatever new actress you have who probably won't care as much about wearing this blue makeup, which is essential to the Mystique character, especially her whole phrase of being mutant and proud, but yet you never hardly see her as a mutant. And even the times when you do see her blue and in costume, in makeup in this movie, it looks so different compared to the usual Mystique makeup. It's a lot cheaper. It must have been just, hey, Jennifer Lawrence did not want to sit in the chair for 12 hours and go through it. Boo hoo. Quicksilver gets taken out, not killed, but gets taken out in the battle where the X-Men try to fight Jean off and they pretty much lose. Quicksilver gets taken out and he's gone for the whole movie. We see him at the very end to show that, hey, he's still alive. But he still never gets to tell Magneto that he's his son. They still don't have that moment. Huge missed opportunity. I still hate that scene in X-Men Apocalypse where he doesn't tell Magneto right then and there that he's his son. So we get another movie where it's not even brought up. It's not even addressed. What the hell, guys? Don't you pay attention to these characters, the continuity, to these story arcs, just for it not to get brought up at all? It was a waste. Feels like an absolute waste. Speaking of Magneto, when he finds out that Jean Grey killed Mystique, Beast, the two of them want to kill her. And that was something interesting because you had Xavier, you had Cyclops, and you had some of the other X-Men trying to stop them from wanting to kill Jean. And at the same time, though, you could understand why they wanted to kill Jean. You could understand where they were coming from, that maybe Jean is too far gone at this point. This was an internal conflict between the X-Men where you understood both sides and both points of view. And that's why that was the parts of the story that I sympathized with the most, that I could get along with the most, and that I could feel for certain characters along the way. I wish that the movie played more into those themes in those moments, and I think the movie would have been a lot stronger for that. But no, we spent all this time with Jessica Chastain's character. Look, great actress. I don't want to take away from her as an actress. I mean, I can name a bunch of movies where I really enjoyed her in. But her character is just so out of place, so not needed in this movie. She's a human who gets overtaken by an alien, so she gets possessed, and then you see that she is looking for this cosmic force because it did something to her planet, blah, 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 and then she, I guess, tricks Jean to try to absorb the power herself, but yet we spent all this time explaining that Jean is the only powerful enough mutant that is able to contain this force inside of her, but now we see Jessica Chastain take at least some of the power and be a little bit more powerful, and then she shows up on the train to administrate some of these, but then she gets killed by Jean, and I guess Jean looks like she kills herself as well, but let's be honest, that fiery phoenix flying in the sky at the very, very end after the shot of Xavier and Magneto playing chess, which is always a great moment, it seemed like they wanted to tease that maybe Jean could come back. But I don't expect us to get another X-Men movie with these characters ever again. So this is it. This is the finale. This is the end of an era. But in a lot of ways, it did not feel like a finale. It did not feel like an end of an era. It just felt like another movie. It felt like another middle-of-the-road film that sure is watchable, sure has some decent scenes, sure has some decent acting, but overall, kind of forgettable. I'm already starting to forget about this movie just a couple days after seeing it, and that sucks. It really does suck. Not nearly anywhere close to being the worst X-Men film, so I do think some people are exaggerating by saying that, but still not a great superhero film, especially with what some other superhero movies have been doing and are doing in 2019. So guys, spoiler talk here. Let me know in the comments below, what did you think of Dark Phoenix? Did you like it? Did you love it? What are some of your favorite moments? Some of your favorite scenes? Who is your favorite X-Men character? Since this is the last Fox X-Men movie, what's your favorite Fox X-Men film? What's your favorite actor that has played a character in all these movies? And also, what's your least favorite? Why not? If we're going to be negative, if we're going to give our last final rants, what's your least favorite Fox X-Men film? Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Later!